gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Grown Folk Talk. I'm your host, B. Today we talking about dealing with other people's kids. Let's get into it.
Say it again. Repeat what you said.
Look, I told you, I'm not doing this. Look, I can't support my own kids and then take care of yours. Like, it's crazy.
Mine.
Yeah, yours.
My kid.
Your kid. That's what I said.
Okay, but we're married, so how is it my kid?
Yeah. We got our own, then it's yours off to the side. Like, I can't do that. Why is that?
What do you?
Why is that?
But these sound like questions that you should have been asking before we actually got married.
Hey,
Like,
look,
you came in
I was
knowing what was going
for a
on.
little bit, but I didn't think I had to take care of a whole extra kid. That's wild.
So what were you gonna do? How does that make sense? Make it make sense to me, because you're not making any sense right now.
Get another job. That makes sense to me. That's how perfect. That's how
For me to get another job.
Yes, for you to get another job.
Okay, so everything that I do in the house, that don't count. That equals nothing. But when your kids, our kids, are here, then I'll take care of everybody.
I'll be slaving at work, working hard, just to what my whole kids.
But who cooks? Who does everything when you're gone? Who's getting all the kids? All the kids.
If I'm working, if I'm doing the work, I'm paying the bills, I'm paying the car notes. Your car taken care of, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah, all your stuff taken care of, right?
All our kids is taken care of as well.
That's the
in
least
the home.
you can do.
How is that the least?
That's the least.
That's
you
the
at
least.
home. I'm working like 60 plus hours. Where are we getting it?
So what you're saying is that what I'm doing in the house isn't work. But everything that I do is work.
No, it's not work.
So that don't equal nothing, is what you're telling me. And now, but now it's my kid.
They got Instacart. You can.
Okay, so y'all heard it. A married couple having a heated debate, whatever you want to call it, argument. And we all have had it. All of us who've been in relationships been married. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about dealing with other people's kids, taking care of other people's kids. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, like she said. You knew this before you married me. You knew I came with a child by someone else. And I think that holds a little bit of weight. You know these things going in, but there are so many other factors. And let me tell you something, for those of you all who are going to be mad at me for my opinion on this, I'm giving my commentary, but it is also based on real life experiences. As some of you know, my husband has grown sons. We have an age gap. So obviously he had children before me. So I can feel, oh boy, okay, I can feel him to an extent. Now, I do understand it's different. It's different when the child lives in the home. That wasn't my situation. The most we had was probably, some months at a time. So it's a little bit different. But I do understand the pressure of providing for someone else's child, especially when the other parent is absent or there's no communication on that end. So let me say that I get it. He knew this before he wifed her, but my man tired. It was giving tired. It was giving stress to me. He said he worked 60 plus hours. He take care of her car note, everything around the house. And she came back with cooking and cleaning. And that's something that I do also primarily in my household. So I don't want to brush it off like it's nothing, because it is work cleaning up and behind the household, laundry and all that stuff. We all know that. But it doesn't bring an income in. And I think really that's what my man was trying to say. Like, that ain't really work. You ain't earning no money from that. That's basic everyday stuff. That's the stuff that you had to do for you and your daughter you and your child before you even met me. And I want to stay on that for a second. When you have children by someone and then you meet someone else, there's a time frame in which you are doing everything for you and that person and your child, before you and that person in that new relationship, before y'all get closer, before you move in together. It's not like I meet you Monday, you got a kid, and then next week I'm taking care of you and your kid. That comes over time. So you obviously were able to take care of you and that child before we joined forces. So I want to say that, most people, if I can keep it a buck, don't want to be bothered with their own kids, let alone somebody else's.
And you know this, man.
Y'all know times have changed. You ain't got that auntie or that grandma no more where you could drop your kids off somebody to watch your kids, keep them for the weekend. Them days is over. Grandma in the club. Grandma stacking her money to get her BBL. So ain't nobody trying to be bothered with other people's kids if we're just going to keep it real. No one wants to do that. Sometimes not even a biological parent. So let's touch on that. And I have this going on in my family right now. I'm telling y'all, I can relate so much to this video. When you have a child by someone and they're not in the picture anymore and then you move on, it happens, right? If you not with the person that you had kids with I get it. It happens. Like I said, my husband has three adult sons. Well, one passed, but my husband had 3 kids and things didn't work out. So I get it. I'm not beating up people. I came from a single family household. I've said that plenty of times. So I get it. Sometimes things just don't work out. But to try to expect someone that you just met, that you've been with for a few years, whatever, to do more than a biological parent, that's where I got a problem at. I'm not feeling that.
Nope.
You want me to do more for your child than the person that you actually made said child with. That's my beef here. You want me to take care of your child, but you don't have zero expectation from the person that actually got the nut, the person that, you know, their father, their grandmother, they got a whole nother family. But you don't have no expectation from them. You want me to spend my money on your child, but the own parent don't want to spend no money on their kid. Make that make sense. And that's my biggest issue with situations like this. The sense of entitlement that you need to do this. Well, you knew it when you met me. Yeah, but we all have taken on things and then regretted it. We all have started stuff and changed our minds. You know, you might have bought a old school. I know my brother did that. Shout out to the Do Better podcast. My brother bought an old school thinking he gonna fix it up and restore it, and realize later it was too much for him. Sometimes people take on 2 jobs and realize it's too much for you. You may take on a real estate project and realize it's too much for you. Like, we all have done that. The child was probably younger and maybe a little more low maintenance. Maybe the child has gotten older now and it's just too damn much and you don't want to be bothered, and that's okay. And you know why it's okay? Because it's not your responsibility. Now, granted, if you married the person, you agreed to do something. And my man said that. He's taking care of the household. He's paying the bills. He's taking care of your car. So how about you get another job if need be and take care of the things that your child may need. This could be an older child that may need, you know, more money. You know, as they get older, they need more money. This could be a teenager who's ready to drive. And, you know, it's just a lot of responsibility that come into raising children. We all know this, but to pressure someone to record them, to have that expectation for a person to provide for kids that ain't theirs, when the man is just saying simply get another job. I mean, that, but that, you don't even want to hear that. I don't want to hear get another job. That's not the solution. Okay. Me shaming you and guilting you because you knew this when you signed up for this, as opposed to, you know what, this child is my responsibility and the other parent, not yours. So why put, like, I never had that. I didn't have a big burden on me. I did stuff because I got married young, then I got older and I had to realize, let me fall back. I'm doing too much. You know, they got mothers. I'm overplaying my position. So I think it's more than fair to be like, if you have, let's just say 100% responsibility of your child with her, you shouldn't have 100% responsibility of her child. She should be taking more care of that. You should only come in when it's real clutch, you know, when she busy, something going on. You should not have to take care of 100% of everything. And I think that's kind of what he's saying. Like, why don't you get another job? It's just becoming too much for me. I got our kids and everything else, but whatever it is that your child is requiring, my man tired and he don't want to be bothered, and you can't be mad because that's a decision that you made. You knew that going in, that there was going to be some awkwardness, some tension. I'm sure it's different last names. It's so many factors when you become a step parent. And a lot of people just look at it and want it for the surface. Well, you knew that in the beginning. Yeah, you knew a lot of stuff. You knew eating potato chips every night wasn't good, but you still did it anyway. And now you 250, 300 pounds. I mean, come on. We all know that you can do something and regret it. You know, and a lot of conversations in these spaces are going on right now, and men are speaking up. They're saying, you know, some of them don't even want to date a person who has children by someone else, but some of them are like, it all depends on the situation. You know, it just really depends. It's such an individual thing. And the fact that a man wifed you up and you have outside children, there's a certain level of humility, I think, is what men are saying. And women are so arrogant these days, are so proud. You need to do this, you need to do that. And it's like, no, why would you want to stress your man? The last thing I want to ever do is stress my man, because I know it's a time where I did, just to keep it a buck, especially when I was younger. Like in my 20s, whatever. So I definitely don't want to stress my man. So if my man is telling me that something is stressing him, I need to try to take that off his plate, especially when This child ain't really got no dealing in connection with you. Y'all don't share no DNA. Y'all ain't got the same last name. Let's cut the crap. Are you on the biological father like this? Are you recording the biological father saying you need to be doing this or why you ain't doing that? To put pressure on a man who already said he working 60 plus hours, I think it's so selfish. And I think as a woman, you need to try to do whatever it is that you can do to take whatever he's feeling up off of him. To maybe your child is acting too high maintenance, I don't know, and there's always gonna, like I said, there's always gonna be something, because you got kids by two different. I remember with me, there was one time I wanted to take my son shopping. At the time I had two boys, and my stepson was living with us at the time, and no communication, with his mother. It was just like whatever. It was just, communication was zero. And I took my son shopping. I didn't know he was coming. I didn't know he was going to be around. And so by me being, a halfway decent person, I got $100 and gave it to him so he ain't have to sit up and watch my son tear up the mall. I ain't have to do that. And you got some people who don't have it or who don't want to spend it on your child, and that's okay. It shouldn't be my responsibility to do everything for a child. Is not mine, even though I agreed to marry you. I'm not saying, so for all you selective hearing people, I didn't say don't do anything. I'm saying 100%. Every little thing that your child needs should not be thrown upon the step parent. Just like every little thing your biological child, like everything my kids need. I don't call my husband. He at work right now while I'm recording this video. I'm not calling him, oh, they hungry, they need this, they need that. I'm going to take care of that stuff because he's doing something. So the same for a kid that ain't his. Like every little thing this kid need, you think it's fair to put it on this man, and this ain't even his child? Are you stressing the biological father? Are you blowing up the biological grandmother? And in most cases it ain't, but I'm just going to go off the surface level of what this is. So I just think that if you want to keep a man, you need to learn real fast how to not stress him, how to not make things harder for him, because our men already got it harder for them just walking out the house, what they got to deal with. So I know a lot of y'all ain't gonna want to hear it, but it is what it is. We all have it difficult as melanated people, but our men have it harder. There's definitely a target on their back, and if you don't know that, oh boy, are you behind. But anyway, I think that the woman in this case came off very arrogant, entitled, and prideful, and has no humility. She should be grateful. And, like I said, I know somebody in this same situation, so arrogant, so entitled, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm like, no, I don't need to do anything for their child. Their child ain't my blood. These kids is my blood. And I know some of y'all feel like it's petty because they kids. Oh, you can't do for one without doing for the other. Who made that rule up? How you going to tell me how to spend my money? If I want to take my blood relatives out, and I don't want to deal with this other child that ain't my blood relative, I don't have to. You can't make me. What you can do is say, can't nobody go. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Now I got less kids to worry about. But you can't, that rule. Like the whole McDonald's clip. Y'all remember that? Oh, how you gonna buy McDonald's for just your kid and not these kids? Because they're not my responsibility. You can do it. Like I said, I took my son to the mall and I gave my stepson $100. Like, here, get you something, because I didn't want him to feel no type of way. But everybody ain't moving like that. Everybody not about to take money and just spend it on someone else's kid, whether y'all married or not. You know what I'm saying? And at this time, my stepson was a freaking adult, a grown man. So, you live and you learn when you're in these situations, and it's like, I really don't need to do that. I don't need to be doing it. And I'm telling you, I done paid for proms. I done did so much as a step parent. So I'm telling you, you have the right to say no. You have the right to set your boundaries and be like, I'm not going to do this. I'm paying the bills. I'm keeping the lights and water on. That's it. I don't need to do all that extra. I don't need to get you fresh and none of that. That's on you and the person that you made that child with. Y'all need to figure that out, because I'm doing more than enough. But this has been another episode of Grown Folk Talk. Please like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know, especially if you're a step parent. Let me know. Let me know if you done dealt with some entitlement or some stuff like that, or if you done had to spend your money and you ain't necessarily want to, just to, keep the peace or whatever. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what I need y'all to do. I need y'all to hit that like button, and I need y'all to share. I'm trying to get to 10K subs, y'all. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, and thank you for the support.